Now, for more on how the wildfires are impacting California's wine industry, I'm joined by John Aguirre. He's the president of the California Association of Winegrape Growers. Thank you for joining us.
Hello, Rachelle.
Now, John, give us some context. Just how much does California's wine industry contribute to the state's economy?
Quite a bit. California alone would represent the fourth largest country in the world in terms of wine production. So within the state of California, the industry in total employs 325,000 people. That's the industry directly, as well as tourism and suppliers and sellers associated with wine.
Now, at this point, has anyone been able to offer the initial estimate of what some of these economic losses might be?
Not yet. It's too soon. The disruption to the wine economy is significant. Vineyards that are damaged, wineries are damaged, may only be a small portion of the total economic disruption because right now people can't get to their vineyards to harvest the remaining crop. People can't get to the wineries. Power's been disrupted in certain cases. So it's just too early to tell exactly what this disruption is going to mean.
And for people who aren't familiar with just how much time and expense goes into the winemaking process, what sort of rebuilding efforts would be involved?
Well, it's an extraordinarily expensive proposition. You know, Napa County farmland, for example, is the most expensive farmland in the country, and an acre of prime Napa Valley vineyard land can be $450,000 per acre. So it's extraordinarily sad to see these incredibly valuable assets injured. But fortunately, you know, this is a very resilient community. So I think with proper working capital, with insurance, we're going to find people are going to recover quickly, we hope, much more quickly than the human tragedy that we have to deal with.
And what do you think would really help boost the recovery process?
Well, the key to resilience in the face of disasters really is people that are insured have access to that working capital to get their businesses back up and running, that the government steps in with proper aid to make sure that people can access loans. This is a very capital-intensive business, and there's a lot at stake here. Now, there are 24 million people who visit California wine country, so we need to get these businesses back up and running so that families can earn their wages and these businesses can continue contributing to the California economy.
And these businesses certainly go beyond winemaking. So how much of an impact do you think this will have on the wider wine tourism industry? You have the tours, the hotels, the restaurants. How much of an impact could we see?
Well, the impacts are substantial. This is peak period in terms of wine tourism. So to see, we're facing a lot of road closures, evacuation orders, affecting really prime tourist areas. So with that said, I do believe that once these fires are brought back under control, we're going to see a strong rebound in tourism. But for right now, it's a problem for these businesses.
Now, agriculture is the largest jobs provider in the world. So as we look at the various industries included in California's affected areas, the vineyards, farming, ranching, even cannabis producers, etc., how much are they being affected?
Well, quite a bit. The effect on agriculture generally in these three counties is substantial. You know, wine grapes and wine would be the greatest value add there is. So we have $2.7 billion worth of wine grapes coming out of California. That ends up having a retail value nationwide of $32 billion. So it's a substantial contribution to the economy, but it really is unclear what kind of disruption this is going to be. It's really chaotic on the ground in terms of who's affected, what wineries have suffered damage, and what these power losses mean and what the inability of workers to get to work, what all of that means. So we're not going to have a clearer picture on what the true extent of the economic damage is for quite some time.
All right, well, thank you so much for your insights, John Aguirre, President of the California Association of Wine Grape Growers.